Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on crypto and the Great Reset. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about the Great Reset and crypto. This is going to be broken down into two parts, possibly even three, because I got a lot of ground I gotta cover. And you know, this isn't a doom and gloom video either. A lot of people like to say that when I do videos on the Great Reset. All it is me making you aware of what's going on around you. And you know, everybody in crypto, they want to see their cryptocurrency take off in price. Well, when it comes to XRP and these ISO cryptocurrencies, the same thing that's happening around you is playing a big factor on where these cryptocurrencies are going. So in part one, the first part, I'm going to talk about real world events that are happening right now that shows you that we are already involved with the Great Reset. It's already happening. And I'm going to take my time with these videos because usually I have a tendency to talk about something and I rush through it, but not with this. So as long as you've been in crypto, you've probably seen this mapping where XRP becomes backed by gold and Stellar by silver, XDC copper, algo, palladium, and IOTA iridium. But to get to that time where XRP is moving the price of gold or moving the value of gold, and maybe even being backed by gold, the Great Reset has to happen first. And it's the goal of the globalist is to take away the power from all countries and transfer that power to international institutions controlled by the ruling elite. The UN, the World Economic Forum, and the World Health Organization. The World Economic Forum is alive and well in a lot of the governments around the world already. And this is their agenda. One world government, one world cashless currency, one world central bank, one world military. Let's talk about the one world government. They're already pushing in that direction. It's the same reason that we see the US going through what we're going through with the US dollar. Everybody's breaking away from the US dollar. The US dollar has to fall as a world's reserve currency. That's part of the Great Reset as well. One world central bank. Now, a lot of times people say Ripple's going to become the central bank of central banks, and XRP is going to provide the liquidity to all the other central banks. And that could possibly happen as well. Then they go on to talking about depopulation and beyond. But it all comes down to one world everything. Whenever you hear one world this and one world that, it all comes down to a new world order. And this is their agenda. Again, so they want to say no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation and infrastructure, reduced inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace, justice, and strong institutions, partnership for the goals. But what it comes down to is they just want to take control of every aspect of your life. They want to ration the water. We see that happening in other countries already. They want to take control of the world's food supply. They want to have you indoctrined with their thinking. Then you see climate change. Climate change is going to lead to another tax on all of us. But how is this going today? Well, if you look around any major city, this is what you see inside the United States. Any major city in the US looks like this, but our Congress just voted for almost $100 billion for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan. And a lot of people would right away say, well, those are drug addicts. They put themselves in this situation. I want you to think beyond that. I want you all watch YouTube videos. I want you to go and watch some videos where they go in and actually talk to some of these people. And they asked them how they ended up where they are right now, homeless and on the streets. Some are even setting up communities, homeless communities. And a lot of these people are very smart people. They ended up here because society is failing them. What I mean by that is inflation. They can't keep up with it. They ended up homeless because they can't afford rent. They can't afford a mortgage. It's not just because of drugs. Look beyond that. You will see how the government is putting us in these type of situations. The EU culprits promoting open borders. Map lays bare how Europe's migrant crisis is hitting countries. We are all in this together, and I cannot stress that enough. This isn't a US problem. It's not a Europe problem. It's not a UK problem. It's a worldwide problem. And the open borders are leading to a digital ID. That's what that's all about. FBI director warns of coordinated attack on the United States. Now they warn us after 3 years of open borders. You know why they're cracking down right now? Because it's an election year. That's it. They still are on track with the Great Reset, and the open borders will lead to digital ID. You will be a one world citizen, a global citizen. Home prices have grown 2 times faster than income since 2000. The median U.S. home should cost $294,000 instead of $433,000. Like I said, that's leading to more homelessness inside the United States. There's no affordable housing for these people. You know, like I said, let me backtrack for a second. Watch those videos. There's doctors and lawyers and plumbers and people that have a trade ending up in these homeless communities. It's very eye-opening, and there's a lot of videos all over YouTube on it. Everything is fake. The true rate of unemployment, as defined by LISEP, measures the percentage of U.S. labor force that is functionally unemployed. Rate of unemployment, 24.2%. The headline is rate of unemployment, 3.8%. What they're talking about in this article is that there's people that are only working part-time, but they're still looked at as being employed. And even most of the people that are employed are working 2 and 3 jobs just to make ends meet, because inflation continues to rise at the same time. How bad has the U.S. debt crisis become? The U.S. government has issued a whopping $11 trillion of debt over the last 4 years. By comparison, it took the U.S. 220 years to add the first $11 trillion of federal debt. Within the next 2 months, total U.S. debt is on track to cross above $35 trillion for the first time in history. Since June, the U.S. debt has been rising by $1 trillion every 100 days. If the current pace continues, another $11 trillion will be added in just 3 years, putting us at $45 trillion by 2027. What's the long-term plan here? In my honest opinion, I think the long-term plan is this. Let's continue to rack up debt and just break down the current financial system. And it's going to affect every single person in this country. We are going to have more chaos. We're going to have more crime as the US dollar continues to break down. But they don't want to fix it. They want to go into a new system, a digital system, a CBDC, And that's what I see coming. The most important issue, surveys suggest many U.S. couples would prefer to have 2 or more kids, but see housing, job security, and the cost of childcare as significant obstacles to having more children. So now that inflation is raging and the cost of housing is raging at the same time, you see what else this is doing? It's cutting down on the population. More and more people aren't even leaving home and moving in with a girlfriend. You know, there's married people out there that still live at home with their parents. And we're going to see that continue to happen. There's going to be more children moving back in with their parents as things continue to get worse. It's all part of one massive plan. And if you look at this in the right way, you could see the Great Reset is happening right in front of you. I remember doing Great Reset videos back in 2022. And back then, people were saying, we have to fight back against the Great Reset. We have to take action now. And what has happened since then? It continued to push ahead because it's happening by design. Everybody is so distracted by the mainstream media news. They're distracted by all the chaos going on in the world. And at the same time, the elites are building their plan out in the background. Every chaotic event that you see happening, every situation you see happening is all tied right back to the Great Reset, including this right here. Republic First Bank officially collapses and is seized by regulators. Banking crisis 2.0 begins. And this is happening by design as well. Remember, banks are falling by design, a consolidation in preparation for the new economy taking shape. Consolidate the banks in preparation for CBDCs. But you're told bank failures. Fed says 1,804 banks and other institutions tapped emergency lending facility. Now, this also will play in factor with bail-ins. And people think that a bail-in's only going to happen on the money over the $250,000 that isn't insured by the FDIC. Here's the problem, though. If 4 banks collapse tomorrow, a bail-in of all the money is going to happen because the FDIC doesn't have enough liquidity to make all those people whole if that happens. That's why I'm always urging people to get their money away from the banks. Pull your cash out of the banks and get invested in something better. If you don't like crypto, get into gold and silver. We all feel the pain of Biden's Build Back Better, and if he's not stopped it, it will get even worse. Build Back Better is code for the Great Reset. I showed that in multiple videos. And it's not about Bidenomics, and it's not even about Biden. Biden is not running the United States. The elites are running the United States. The people in the background are running the United States. All this in 3 years, not the 15th or 30 years it usually takes for this kind of cost to increase. Groceries, 21.2%. Eating out, 21%. Baby food, 29.6%. Take notice, that's higher than regular groceries. Why? Because they don't want you having children. Pet food, 22.7%. Remember, they didn't want you to have dogs either. Rent, plus 20%. Electricity, 28.4%. Natural gas, 30%. Apparel, 12%. Used cars, 20.3%. Airfare, 31.4%. Now, here's what I think is going to happen. We are going to see a lot of bubbles pop throughout 2024 as well. Real estate bubble is definitely going to pop. That's going to happen. And once one thing goes, the whole system is going to come crashing down at once. And when that happens, It's going to be a dark time for a period of time. People are going to become more homeless more and more as we go ahead. And you see it in the major cities. And a lot of people would say, well, that's the major cities. But now it's starting to push into rural America as well. There's small towns that now are having a homeless problem. And it's happening by design. Remember, you'll own nothing and be happy. Are you middle class? If so, then you are an inconvenience to the globalist communism and the Fourth Industrial Revolution. The Fourth Industrial Revolution is also code for the Great Reset. The middle class are systemically being wiped out. Take a listen to this.
And also to our discussion, which we had at dinner 2 days ago. The Fourth Industrial Revolution has one big challenge. It is the holding out of the middle class.
So it's the holding out of the middle class. And that's why they're trying to crush out the middle class right now. They're crushing you out through inflation, swallowing up people's savings, swallowing up people's 401ks. You know, some people are retired and they end up going back to work now because they want to crush the middle class. They got to eliminate it 100%. And this is why I'm always telling you, you have to enrich yourself through crypto. This way you could break away from the matrix that they are creating. You know, it's happening in real time all around you. And you know why nobody fought off the Great Reset? Because we're so divided. We can't come together on anything in this country. And it's happening around the rest of the world as well. They kept everybody divided because once you divide a population, you can conquer a population. And, you know, I pointed it out. Look at who's behind the division. BlackRock. They own part of CNN and Fox News at the same time. People that watch Fox will never get along with people that watch CNN and vice versa. And, you know, everybody, even in the crypto space now, it's becoming divided. The crypto space was the place where everybody came together because we all think alike. We all have the same mindset. We all want to get rich off of our investment. But even that's becoming a toxic place now. But that's why the Great Reset continues to push ahead because the populations are divided all around the world. Look at what they did overseas in Europe and the UK. Look at how they're already pushing into the digital age, restricting how much cash people can use. That's because they want to put you under the CBDC, the digital ID. Next will come the social credit score. I always used to say in my videos, if you don't believe me, look to the East. What's happening in the East will eventually come to the West. And look at, now we're running parallel to Europe. Everything that's happening there is now happening here. But, you know, in the next video, I'm going to talk more about crypto and how everything that's going on in crypto is also part of the Great Reset. But, you know, in this video, I wanted to show you the real world events that are happening now. In the next video, I'll discuss even more of that. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.